Okay, so we did a video on mortgage shots yesterday that got quite a bit of attention on social media. Now, if you want to see it, you can just click on the mortgage shots banner after the show and make sure you subscribe. Anyways, we'd like to expand on why it struck a nerve within the mortgage and real estate industry. So let's cue up the clip.
I actually purchased a home 6 months ago, and I can relate because the amount of hoops that I had to jump as a 24-year-old Hispanic were just unprecedented. So Thank you for that.
And I'm telling you, if you were not a Hispanic, you would not have had as many hoops. That has to end.
Okay, so that's wrong. It's simply wrong. There's not a lender in the world that creates additional conditions based on someone's race.
And why that gets under the skin of lenders is, well, quite possibly the leading candidate to become the next president of the United States accused the entire industry of essentially being racist. If she believes it or is simply pandering is beside the point.
The point is, that's the prevailing message that we hear out of Washington. Not just that lending is discriminatory in nature, but knowingly and purposefully. The truth is, that guy who had to jump through those hoops is correct, but his diagnosis is absolutely wrong.
I will go after that kind of discrimination and bigotry with everything I've got.
Because if you believe that corruption and bigotry is at the core of lending, as Ms. Clinton suggests, then of course you have to do something about it. That being fix it. Weed out the bigots and weed out the crooks.
With everything I've got.
And you do that with enforcement and policy. Again, enforcement and policy that's built upon a lie. Lenders are not creating additional roadblocks in the approval process for minorities.
So you see how this is cyclical in nature. So a lie creates new policy. New policy creates more conditions. More conditions creates the illusion that lenders are purposefully making lending difficult, and the reason they're doing it is because of bigotry towards minorities, which takes you right back to the very beginning.
And I'm telling you, if you were not a Hispanic, you would not have had as many hoops. That has to end.
You see, it's a self-perpetuating circling of the drain, because the more roadblocks via new policy just gives ammunition for some politicians to continue their narrative that lenders are bigots.
I will go after that kind of discrimination and bigotry with everything I've got.
Now, how is this helpful? I mean, I find myself constantly saying this, but think about it.
If lenders were purposefully bigoted, wouldn't that manifest itself in the form of inferior loans with higher interest rates and higher margins to the mortgage company? Now that makes some sort of sense. I mean, like, I don't like you, therefore I'm going to take you for everything I can. That's what the CFPB has accused Toyota and Ally Auto Lending of doing, falsely by the way, but built upon this very scenario I've laid out before you.
I will go after that kind of discrimination and bigotry with everything I've got.
But no, lenders aren't accused of doing that because rates and prices and fees are fixed in mortgage lending right now. The accusation is that lenders are making it more difficult for minorities to get loans, as Ms. Clinton would make you believe. Ask yourself, what purpose would that serve? Even if a lender was a bigot, what purpose would it serve them to continue down the road of a mortgage longer than it need to be, or possibly to make it so difficult that the borrower walks away in frustration?
I will go after that kind of discrimination and bigotry with everything I've got.
The answer is, it doesn't. Why would somebody, regardless of their belief, because even bigots need to pay their bills, and if they're wasting their time on sabotaging loans of minorities, they'd find themselves out of a job and on the streets because it would not be tolerated.
So you can see how totally absurd this notion is, yet this is in fact what was just proposed by the leading candidate to become our next president, and it needs to be acknowledged for what it is. Quite simply, a harmful lie that further divides folks in this country down ethnic and class lines.
And finally, a very big acknowledgement here. This video is not an endorsement or indictment of any candidate of either party. Frankly, any candidate that spouts this type of crap about the real estate and mortgage community would receive the same treatment from us. This video is about the mortgage industry, not the political environment.
And I'm telling you, if you were not a Hispanic, you would not have had as many hoops. That has to end.
When I saw that whole clip, man, I was just so angry. It just made me so mad for
Well,
her
you
to
should be.
so accusatory of an industry. It was just a ridiculous thing to say that the Hispanic. I can't believe how many hoops I had to jump through. Everybody's jumping through those hoops right now because of the policies that have been laid forth
that you're supporting.
That she's supporting and wants to. It's like, oh, God. It makes
You
no
can't
sense.
create the policy that makes it harder and then accuse everybody of creating it themselves.
It's just ridiculous.
It's maddening.
Do us a favor. Let us know your comments down below. Forward, share, forward and share, and subscribe in your upper right-hand corner. We'll catch you later here at the National Real Estate Post.
Bye.
Bye.